Um, boop, boop, boop. There we go. SCP-001 is an 1,100-foot tall anomalous entity that usually has four wings, and this is actually the GIF that they have on the website. Hopefully I can yeah, you see that? I think that is so beautiful. Whoever animated that, they did a great job. Um, SCP-001 is usually depicted with four wings, but can have anywhere between 2 and 108 wings. It wields a giant flaming sword that has the temperature of the sun's core, so about 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. Um, and I absolutely love the depictions of it. I think all of the drawings are very beautiful. It guards a portal that looks like it's a lush garden, and inside the portal there are other similarly shaped but not as tall entities that are walking around. And where it's located, it's between the Euphrates and the Tigris River. So a lot of people think that the Gate Guardian is actually an angel. In the Bible, I believe the Garden of Eden is protected by cherubim, and I think Uriel is the main one that they talk about. And some SCPs they derive, their references of historical and religious texts, and this is one of them. Um, and so this SCP, it was actually first found by King Solomon, who walked upon the SCP, this giant flaming angel, and it telepathically told him to prepare, right? And in this historical sense of the SCP Foundation, because, there are multiple timelines in the Foundation, like some of these SCPs don't show up in certain timelines and some of them too, but in this historical timeline, that was the creation of the Foundation. King Solomon saw this giant flaming angel that told him to prepare, and then he created the SCP Foundation to find other interesting anomalies. So if any thing, any person, any yeah, I know, right? It's pretty cool and I think it's beautiful. But if anything comes within 1 kilometer of the Guardian, it kills you with its flaming sword, and it can move it instantly. Like, you can't see it with the naked eye. We can't see it. It's like it moves in, like, I think a quarter of a nanosecond. It swings its sword to essentially vaporize you on an anatomical level. Like, you're really just atoms and dust in the wind at that point. Ranged attacks are also vaporized. The Foundation, because they are idiots, they have tried to kill it in a bunch of ways. They've tried to send missiles. They have tried to do submarine attacks. And because remember, their goal is to secure and contain these entities to protect all of humankind. So, they take extreme lengths. But yeah, that has resulted in multiple deaths every single time they had tried to attack it or kill it. Um, it has in turn killed them, and then between hundreds to thousands of people. Also, there was one time they sent a D class to interact with it. It telepathically told that D class to leave. The D class said, "Okay, say less." You know, uh, it tried to leave. The Foundation was like, "Hey, you need to fulfill your duties, because if not, we're gonna terminate you." And the D class was like, "Listen, it told me to leave. I'm gonna leave." And so they terminated the D class. Like, they killed the D class. And then that made the Gate Guardian angry, and so it jumped halfway around the world and killed everybody who was involved with sending the D class to that location. Like, in a nanosecond. They couldn't see that. They couldn't see what had happened. It didn't do any damage to the facility itself, but only to the specific people who had sent the Class D um to interact with it and terminated it. So it's definitely interesting, and I will say that my favorite part about the Gate Guardian story, which I thought was really interesting, was that there was this communication that was sent from a facility to the Foundation, to the primary Foundation. It was sent from Facility Zero, and this correspondence, it was like a fax, It said that the gate guardian had actually left its post. It wasn't guarding the portal anymore, and that the time of the end was nigh, and that the end of the world was so beautiful, and that it was time to prepare because everything was coming to an end, and yada yada yada, so on. Book of Revelation stuff. And then when the Foundation and the O5 Council, which are the 13 head members of the Foundation, when they reached out to that facility, they were like, hey, what the fuck are you talking about? We're looking at the Gate Guardian right now. We're not seeing anything that you guys are talking about. It's not doing anything. It's just standing there guarding the portal. They had absolutely no idea what the Foundation was talking about. Um, they were like, yeah, we didn't send a communication. We're not even watching the Gate Guardian. We don't know where you got that fax. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe it da da da. So they looked into the correspondence that was sent and they saw that it was sent, I believe, 5 years from the future. So whatever's happening with the Gate Guardian, it was big enough that somehow communication from the future at that facility sent a warning back in the past about the world ending. Um, Crazy shit.